Yeah, I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoon Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna get. You step in the room, you're now dealing with Canoe. Yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear, because a lot of y'all can't hear. Now, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. Um, this is my thoughts 42, and this whole week has been Coat Week, and I'm trying to show people the pitfalls of religion and the way a person can bastardize something that seems so innocent and pure initially in the beginning, and he can bastardize it, manipulate it. He can get strong individuals, group them up, make them weak, and he stand firm and supreme at the top of this cult or this following, whatever it may be, religious, political, empowering group. They name it a whole lot of different things. Um, but it's very dangerous when a person's looking for something. He's wondering. He's trying to find himself in religion. He's trying to find himself personally, and he don't know a lot of things that the people that they chose to follow already knows. So they say, I'm gonna manipulate this in a bit. He don't know, so I'm gonna, pull it, and because they don't know. So a lot of these people, I'm not faulting them, but this is when I come in and say, if you knew who you were spiritually, excuse me, you don't need to follow anybody in the human nature. That's unhuman for another human to follow another human. It's unnatural, okay, in my opinion. So you are a free spirit, and you can do whatever you want to do with your spirituality. This is a fair use act. I'm going to play another video, and you can watch the whole video wherever you can find it at in its entirety. This is a fair use act, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody. I'm trying to give you what was taken from you at the time religion was given to you. So that's what I plan on doing. So let's watch this video.
But Jones' luck was running out. A number of his followers were feeling disillusioned about him, and they happened to mention their concerns to David Kahn, a normal citizen concerned for the safety of the temple's advocates.
To leave People's Temple, you had to decide you'd rather die than continue to go there and see the beatings and the mistreatment of people, the rip-off of senior black people from their homes, all their property. You had to decide that you were ready to die when you left the church.
To think that people are so damn picayune about who they go to bed with, and particularly you women, all you have to do is lay there, and by God, I've had to keep it going all night.
The only thing I can do is to be an aggressive heterosexual with a man or woman. I don't care whatever you want to be. You be the woman. I would do that for socialism.
I told you there, I've had to crawl in bed with men and put up with for this cause. I've had to lay with women I hated till my skin crawled.
We'd get on these buses that he purchased, these Greyhound buses. We'd travel from San Francisco to Chicago, all across America in the summer.
Bus number 7 was Jim's bus. And in the back of his bus, he had his own private space. I didn't know it at the time, but on that same bus, there were many sexual encounters.
When we got on the bus to go back to San Francisco, he sat down next to me and said, "You don't realize how beautiful you are, do you?" And he said, "I'm attracted to you." And he told me to go into the back of the bus, and I waited there, and then the door opened, and it was John's. And he said, "You're a beautiful girl, and you don't know that. And I want to show you that you are." And then he proceeded just to pull down his little zipper and screw me. And as I lay there...
That's the video. Now, I took a phone call. I apologize about that, but that was very important. In the video, he says has some recordings, and there was a gentleman on the beginning who has some concern. He said, hey, to leave the Jones Temple, you would have to be willing to die, because at that time, it was in the Bay Area. He was beating them. I think it was called Redville in the Bay Area. He was beating people, and he said he was stealing all the money from elder, senior citizen black. If you go back, you'll see that white guy. He said that this man had already started stealing money from black elderly people. Then he would beat them, public beatings and humiliations, because when you get them in a group, you can do that. I mean, you're more powerful than all of them. When you got them with a group-like mindset, this is how the slave master was able to have all them slaves. I read a report on slave plantations. One gentleman was able to have around 1,700 slaves on one plantation. All he had was a field hand, an ignorant old ass white man named Boss Charlie, and the guy up in the front, Boss Massa, in the big house. 3 people held down 1,700 slaves. See what I'm saying? Now, individually, the slaves, they was mandingos. Some of them they would beat the hell out of that slave master, the field hand, Boss Charlie, and the slave driver, all this stuff. But as a group, they have sheep-like mentality. Never get outside of the group. And when one does, I show him straightway aggressive, an aggressive type of display right in front of everybody. We're very aggressive. And the rest of the group stay in line after that. Now, the gentleman said he was taking money from elderly black people at that time. And if you wanted to leave the Jonestown or the People's Church, the People's Temple at the time, you had to be willing to die. Then after that, the young lady came on there and said he, on the road to one of his buses, he would go to Chicago, drive his buses all around. Because this man was a political man. He did all this political stuff in the beginning to gain all these followers. In Indiana, he started making it where he said, no, everybody got to be equal. So he was in civil rights. He went all through Indiana, making it good for black people and making them, making, everything, what is it called? Words always escape me when I start going live. But he went through there making everything non-segregated. There you go. He desegregated a lot of Indiana because he wouldn't stand for certain desegregation rules. Okay. I mean, segregation rules. So he went in the hospital and he started making black folks beds. They put them in the black folk or African wing. I call them Africans. And he didn't want to be removed. He said, leave me over here. And to show that he, was okay with African people, he started making their beds. So at that point, they said, okay, no more segregated hospital wings. He did this in Indiana. But he was gaining the favor of black people so he could manipulate, bastardize, and take advantage of them. He felt they didn't know no better, no way. But he would do that to any race. See, that's the scary thing of a man with a cult mind and a cult mentality. Once he find out that he can manipulate and bastardize you, you doomed from the beginning, okay? So it take a strong person to ask questions. What are you doing this for? Where are we going? Why am I doing this? Why are you this? Why is this? You have to start asking questions. At one point, this man said he was the reincarnation of Gandhi, Father Divine, John Lennon, all kind of stuff. So he went a little further. Once he moved to Guyana, he became the whole thing. He disregarded the Bible, all that type of stuff, because he was the God. He still used the Bible, but he would manipulate verses. He had a display, like he had a guy shoot him. It was like a play, but he did it in front of everybody so they wasn't aware of it. And he was bloody and shot in the chest. Then he get up, walk around, come out in the same shirt, but he put on a clean one. And they said he got shot and he was the, real God because he got shot and he came right back. So when you do show and prove, that goes a long way too. Now, this man is responsible for the greatest massacre on U.S. soil as far as getting people to kill themselves, commit suicide, mass suicide. I think it was roughly 980, 990 something, roughly around almost 1,000 people. And 85 to 90% of them were African people. You see what I mean by when he was in the civil rights movement, he was buttering up all these people so he can have his own political, social, economic, and then his crazy ass coat gain at the end. He couldn't have got 1,000 Europeans to kill themselves. Okay. He has some in there, don't get me wrong. But out of that 980, you can look it up. 85 to 90% of those people was African. Okay. Or you might call them African American. So he had another thing. He said, I don't give a damn who I sleep with. A heterosexual man, I sleep with a lady. And he said, y'all don't know how to have sex anyway. You just lay there. I remember this ain't no setting for a place when you're political and religious. Sex don't have to be talked about that freely. See, and that's another thing I wanted to mention. All of these things we're going to see all through Code Week, and if you can go back, started with Nature Boy, Carbon Nation, ended up as some freaky sexual cult type of thing. But at first he was acting like he was this old empowered mind man with 6 carbons, 6 atoms and all that. Carbon Nation, okay? Then we went on to Nexium, the little short, silly ass man. Okay, that's the Keith Raniere, the little Yoda, Michael J. Fox wannabe, this freaky little ass man who wanted to sex slave the whole world. He had roughly 700 women that he abused. Okay. Then we went into David Koresh with the Branch Davidians. He was taking men's wives, having children with little children, making children with children, taking men's wives, having children with their wives. He was God. Now we come here. This same sexual, freaky, nasty ass European Neanderthal, he's doing the same thing. So at the end of the day, all these when you start having sexual cults and sexual, it can stem from anything in the beginning, but it's all going to close in to I'm the God, I'm the this, I'm the only man, so I'm the only one that can really have sex. Okay? Keith Raniere only had women. It was men that worked there, but they wasn't in the group. Okay? David Koresh, he made all the men swear to celibacy. In fact, he took a man wife to show that it was real. He took another man wife who was his first in command. His right-hand man, he took his wife and had a baby with her. And they was happy because he said he was God. Jim Jones take the same playbook, but he had it first before David Koresh because this was in the 70s. Okay? He's God. He's the only man that could be screwing and having sex. Screwed everybody, made children, black and white, all across the planet. He was going through South America, Brazil, and all this crazy stuff. And at the end of the day, he was a goddamn fool and a nut. So as you see, as we run through Code Week, you're learning. Religion can be manipulated and bastardized, and you can do whatever you want to do. And then at the end of the day, you could be standing there like this. I'm the nigga. I'm the, excuse my language, but I'm the motherfucker. I'm the God. I'm the whole thing. And nobody's saying nothing about you. And I'm using that term, I'm the nigga, because that's what Nature Boy used to say. Okay? And a lot of language, like I said, I'm going to use foul language this week because these are nasty, silly ass, foul, less than human being ass men. I don't even want to refer to them as men. They nutcases who had agendas before they even start coming on these people. They already knew I want to rule the world. And people fell victim to these silly ass shells of a man. See, because when you don't have your word, you're nothing but a shell of a man. And none of these men kept their word. None of them were God. If Jim Jones and David Koresh didn't kill themselves, they all still living. They haven't did any magnificent act, and they don't have to, because religion develops insanity. And when you follow a person in religion and he don't know nothing, you fall right to the wayside with them. That's my thoughts on the video. I want to thank people for watching. I'm starting to get some better views on the video. I understand I only have a limited amount of subscribers, but I thank you for watching. I'm getting some nice traction on my shorts. Those are not subscribers, but the subscribers for watching the long videos, I thank you. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoon Consul Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in the room. You're now dealing with Canoon. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I ask some more to it. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.